records that that Congress would certainly want to know where the congressionally appropriated funds are going from taxpayers.
When you catch them going Hillary style on their computers, do you refer this to the Department of Justice?
In this case, we did refer the evidence in the accounting example to the FBI and DOJ, and we were proud to do that. So yes, we did.
Resistance has shown up in some very surprising places. So for example, the famous fork in the road email, the deferred resignation program. So this was a program where you could resign from the government, collect pay and benefits for the next 8 months. Probably the most attractive separation program ever in human history. And the resistance actually came from the outside with people saying this is a trick. And I heard somebody refer to it as an apple with a razor blade. And no, this was just a really juicy apple, caramel dipped apple. It was that good, but people were talked out of taking it. And now what started to happen is we did have about 80,000 people take it, and now those folks who did take it are on the beach or they've moved on to a new job and they're still getting paid. And so now we're starting to offer Fork 2 and Fork 3, where people can see that someone's eaten this apple and it was actually really tasty and good for them.
Is DOGE just getting started? This is a long-term enterprise.
It's a long-term enterprise because if we take our eye off the ball, the waste and fraud will come roaring back.
They can DOGE when Democrats get back in power.
Yeah. Well, I think some of the things that, like, we're trying to have it be such that the funding is removed, so the grants are gone. So there's a lot of work required to restart the waste and fraud, and that will at least slow it down.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.
He's saying namaste after cleaning up the Beltway. Elon has given his exit interview as he gets ready to depart the Department of Government Efficiency. But the billionaire bad boy insisted his transition doesn't mean the Doge mission is over. He said, quote, Doge is a way of life, like Buddhism. Buddha isn't alive anymore. You wouldn't ask the question, who would lead Buddhism? Some guy named Jesse got an exclusive with Musk and Big Balls.
Is DOGE just getting started? This is a long-term enterprise.
It's a long-term enterprise because if we take our eye off the ball, the waste and fraud will come roaring back.
They can DOGE when Democrats get back in power.
We're trying to have it be such that the funding is removed, so the grants are gone. So there's a lot of work required to restart the waste and fraud.
Do these people not respect taxpayer money?
I mean, there's no incentive to if you work in the government. I think the incentives will always decide the outcomes.
Yes.
And, you know, the way that the payment system is set up is if you ask for money, like, you're just going to get it.
Wow. Big Balls has big hair. But Doge's greatest legacy could be making it fashionable to cut government waste. Check out Greasy trying to take credit.
I could have easily come in here with sunglasses and, chainsaws. Okay. You know where I'm going. We're Doge, but better. And we've been Doge, but better for literally 6 years.
Literally better. Jesse, it is a good question. Will Doge continue with the same momentum and excitement without Musk helming it?
He doesn't want to leave. He's having a lot of fun. He might dial it back a little bit.
Their Social Security, and this one's going to lose their Medicaid. None of that happened. It's all fear-mongering. And, you know, I believe that Musk doesn't want to go. He's also a special government employee after 130 days. But I'm still not clear if those 130 days have to be consecutive, you know, and whether or not he gets more days. But that's really not the point. But Greasy Gavin getting up there and saying, I can do Doge better.
Dominic,
and when he honestly started with the sunglasses,
Sorry, man,
I thought he was talking about Biden. But, you know, he says he's going to balance the budget in California.
Streaming.
They're bleeding cash in California. In 2023, there was a $46 billion, $32 billion deficit. A year later, there's a double, $46 $6 billion
streams in
deficit.
landscape.
Newsom needed to borrow
also
$6
stream
million
to
to
Twitch
keep
in
Medicaid
landscape.
afloat. Medicaid, as we
YouTube
know, we got an
vertical.
additional 2 million illegals on Medicaid,
aren't wanting
and
to do
everybody
what I'm
says,
wanting to
"Oh, you know, we don't want to take it away." Well, I actually
right,
believe
so
if you come to this country, you should be
YouTube.
able to provide for yourself if you don't want to work. Otherwise, go home. But that's just me.
Jessica, that is another achievement of Doge. When you have Democrats
check out
getting
Twitch.
on board by saying we can do it better, that's a win. I mean, we're not, you know, Republicans aren't saying, hey, we're doing this and you aren't. We're saying we're doing this. Why don't you do it too? And having Gavin say that is kind
Hell
of a
yeah.
victory for everybody.
Now,
Sure, but Gavin is just returning to the
Recording.
legacy of Doge, which is Bill Clinton and Al Gore's from the 90s when they did it the right way and they actually consulted with Congress.
Who
and they
cares who's first, Jessica?
You just said you want the win.
No, I'm happy that everybody's
fine.
joining.
Kumbaya.
Exactly.
Namaste.
Yes.
Namaste, my friend.
I could not be happier.
Why don't Democrats
We
care
are
about
good to
the
go.
debt? Go
None
back
of
through
that
history
happened.
and look at
It's
If
all
you're here
what's
right
more
now
of
on
the
stream,
debt.
I apologize. Like I
And
was
it is the Republicans.
saying
Look at the
to,
reconciliation
Dominic,
bill that they want to push through.
I
4.5 trillion.
actually
Donald
set
Trump
myself
added more than
for-
everyone.
We can wait for that.
Yeah, let's wait for
Trying
it.
to set up my
Let's also
streams.
talk about the clear
My Twitch stream is
failure
gonna
of
be
Doge based on their own
regular
sections. We
landscape
started at
on
2
my
trillion.
YouTube
Then we
is
moved to
gonna
1
be
trillion.
vertical.
Now we're at 160 billion.
For now, right now. It keeps adding up.
It is a problem. You want to
It's a
always compare
problem.
things.
I didn't see Congress doing that.
If you want to, which
And
you
I wanna
always do, to
record
compare this to
in
private sector
landscape.
standards,
And I
if you
think I
hired
got it.
McKinsey to come in and to cut
So
2 trillion,
tomorrow,
then they said, oh, we'll get you 1 billion. Then they said,
we
we'll get you
have game
160
audio? Yes, we
billion.
do.
You'd
Of course
say,
we do.
you're not doing a very good
Looks
job.
like
And
everything's
also,
running great.
maybe you were spreading lies about what's actually going on
So
in the
if
federal
we got anybody
government.
here
in a
right
day
now-
so far.
But the real story of Doge
I'll
is
stream
that
for a
Elon
little
Musk
bit.
has $38 billion
I'll pump out some
in
shit.
government contracts, has not had a penny of his money touched. Well, he's going around
get
cutting
this a
other
little
people's
bit bigger.
contracts. And there was a new congressional report out this week that found that he was up for $2.37 billion in potential
It looks like
fines
everything
across
is
11
a
agencies.
go.
And what has he been doing? He has
Which-
been cutting the people who are
love
investigating
that.
him. If that doesn't smell like corruption, I don't know what
He's
does.
up for a fine. Let's make
What?
sure
Anyways, here, how's
that
it look on
he
your
gets
end?
a fine before you start saying
right.
he's up for a
If you get
fine.
rid
You
of
could
the
be my,
investigator,
my
you were an
study for this.
investigator,
I
right?
certainly was.
Okay,
and
so
you
if there's
don't
a
make an
potential crime
accusation
and then
unless
you
have the
fire-
evidence to prove
But
it.
they,
That's gonna
it's
be
all
another
laid
thing,
out, by the way, in the
Really?
I'm
pages
gonna get
of
that.
the
First
gray
of all, he
lady.
had all those government
What?
contracts before he even went into Doge.
And he makes, I think,
shit's
$8 million
looking
a
sexy
day
right
while
now, so I think I'm in
20,000
a good
federal
spot.
workers are getting fired. Well, Head Start
maybe we don't
programs.
need
He's
them.
like,
I don't want
Kaylee,
Yes.
please respond to Jessica's falsehoods, a litany of them.
So one of my favorite words is facts. In fact, if you go into my office, I have a big sign that says facts. It was my moniker at the podium. Yeah, they made
cute.
shirts with facts and Kaylee's face on it. Anyway, AP fact check. Trump, here's the claim. Trump ran up the debt by more than any president in American history. AP, not a friend of the administration. We can all agree on that. Remember,
Gulf of
Caroline
America?
Caroline got them out of the press room, at least in the events that are covered in the Oval Office. AP's assessment, no friend of
Everything
Trump.
looks good.
That's incorrect. The debt incurred during the Trump era was very high,
think
but
we
in
can
terms of
run
raw
it.
dollars, the total debt rose more under former President Obama, with Trump in second place, which is why you didn't mention Obama.
And plus, we had
Another-
COVID.
So I
Yes,
think I'm
plus we had
going
COVID.
to-
Plus another fact bomb for Gavin Newsom. You brought up the deficit numbers. The debt,
Did you just pop me
1.6
up on
trillion
that?
in debt in California when you look at unfunded
is
liabilities.
insane. Am I not
125,000 per
streaming on there?
household in California, bigger than the GDP of every country in the world except 13. That's the debt in
we're still
California,
go.
Gavin. So
It just
boom again.
disconnected from chat.
boom.
Keep
All right,
going.
Felix,
I'm
she
not
doesn't
done
have
yet.
anymore. She's done.
I'm
All
done.
right, well,
That's it.
then we'll move
Well,
on,
damn,
shall we?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Yeah, we're in landscape on that. We're good. We are good. We're good.
All right. It's nice to see New Yorkers using their hands for something besides stabbing people. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So the police were called to a Chicago airport after a Southwest Airlines passenger got naked and pooped on her seat.
All right.
In her defense, she did board in group number 2. Failed VP candidate Tim Walz says Kamala Harris picked him because he can talk to white guys.
Wait until it gets to the screen. real
True,
quick.
here's one of the white guys.
YouTube is so backed up a minute.
According to the Daily Caller, the 4 Democrats who went to an El Salvador prison to visit alleged gang member Kilmar Abrega Garcia stayed in a luxury hotel. In their defense, they got a discount using the promo code MS13. In their first 100 days, Trump faced 92% negative coverage, while Biden received nearly 60% positive press coverage. The press's excuse? They were told not to speak ill of the dead. Milwaukee Judge Hannah Dugan, who was accused of shielding an illegal immigrant from ICE agents, has been temporarily relieved of her official duties. However, she will now go back to her previous job of terrorizing the Goonies. Close. Scientists have found a giant hidden gas cloud only 300 light years away from Earth. Hey, don't look at me, said one man. 80 years ago today, Adolf Hitler killed himself. At least that's what my Uncle Steve keeps telling me. I stay at his place in Argentina. Robert De Niro's 29-year-old child, Aaron, has come out as transgender. When the press asked her for comment, she said, "You talking to they, them?" Thank you. Thank you. And finally, George Clooney's wife, Amal, could be denied entry to America for accusing Benjamin Netanyahu of war crimes, prompting Bill Clinton to urge Hillary to accuse Benjamin Netanyahu of war crimes. All right. So as we mark the Trump administration's first 100 days, let's not forget the Dems. Yes, it's time for
the Dems' first 100 days.
Not like this! Not like this!
I swore I wrote a...
I don't know what that means, but okay. So while Trump's been battling to secure the border, cut government waste, and restore law and order, the Dems have been doing what exactly? Let's take a fond look back at their great achievements so far. Of course, we begin with a joint session of Congress. And a reminder, this was not an audition to play the next Chewbacca.
I ordered a brand new pedal.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Got canceled. Probably because I'm broke. Who knows? Make sure the audio is working across the board. Pretty sure I heard myself. Okay, this is Twitch. No, this is YouTube. Cool. Well, shit, guys. Let's just drop in. Let's play a little bit. See what we can do. Doesn't sound like I got the audio. So let's fix that. Let's see. Voice chat output. Oh, they might have screwed up my sound. I'm just not hearing nothing. Check, check. The Miano is going. I'll hide that. Hide that. Check, check. What is taking my sound? All right, and this is my default microphone. I don't even have anything coming through my shit, so where is it going? Check, check, check. Nova's not working either. Check, check. Just trying to figure out what's taking my sound. Because something surely is.